So this is basically the search screen. Very simple to search. Everything starts here. We can search for an individual property, or we can look up all the properties in a city, a zip code, or even a county. So let's look at a zip code, 44212. We have over 16,000 properties here in Brunswick, Ohio. So this is an area that we actively invest in. So this basically lists all the properties in this zip code, and it actually tells us a ton of information about each property, like the beds, the baths, the size. It gives us a quick valuation. It also has a bunch of what we call tags on each property record. The tags will tell us who owned the property and really what type of lead it is. So now we can simply click on the different lead types up here, and we see all the different leads we have access to in this city, in this zip code. So let's click on absentee owners, which is a very good lead source, and it takes us, looks like, down to under 2,000 leads here. So you want to see something very cool? I mean, this is very powerful and really what makes Lead Pipes Premium so incredible. You can actually combine lead types. So let's say absentee owners who also own vacant property, and boom, we have under 150 leads now. So we're getting super targeted here. And this entire database is considered organic, which is just really a fancy way of saying it's updated daily. This data and these properties are always in constant motion and changing. I mean, think about it. One day a property could be occupied, and the next day it's vacant, or it's in foreclosure, etc. So we know that people exit and move into and out of neighborhoods every day. We know that people go into foreclosure. They get divorced, they have tax liens, they go into bankruptcy, they come out of bankruptcy. This stuff happens every day of every year. So our database is updated in real time when all these events happen, which exactly mirrors the people and the property that make up the database, okay? So when you have a good list, you can export it if you'd like, or you can start a direct mail campaign right inside the system. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Facebook marketing and direct mail in just a bit, but you can also sort the leads by beds, by baths, by distance, sale date, loan to value, square feet, or total value of the property. So this is really easy to do and literally just one click. It saves you a ton of time. Now, I just want to point out one thing here. In less than 60 seconds, I just found all the pre-foreclosures, or all the vacant properties, or all the absentee owners in a city of about 35,000 residents with just literally 3 clicks. That is awesome. Now, I want to know if y'all are seeing how you could use this in your business. I know if I'm watching this and we didn't develop it, I'd want to be using it. And that's why in just a bit I'll show you exactly how you can. But let's first go a little deeper. You can also click this advanced search button. You're going to see right next to the search bar, we've got a button that says advanced search here. So with the advanced search, we can do a number of very cool things. We can say, I only want houses with bedrooms that are 3 bedrooms and up, or I only want houses that have 3 bedrooms and at least 2 baths. Or maybe we only want to invest in properties from, let's say, 1,000 to 5,000 square feet. We don't really want to invest in small properties, but we don't want to invest in the super large properties that might be tough to sell. We can also search by property type. So we can look up single family homes only. We could look up single family homes plus condos, or maybe we just want to look up just condos, right? We just click the condo button here. We can do the same thing with townhomes, with multifamily, which would be 2 to 4 unit properties. We can look up apartment buildings in this area. So maybe I want to become a commercial investor and invest in multifamily. A lot of our users like to evolve, or they want to evolve to start succeeding in commercial real estate. Well, Lead Pipes Premium now has the ability to help you market to apartment building owners in the counties or the cities that you want to invest in. You can get all that data just like that in real time. So we can do the same thing for raw land, for mobile homes, and even for specialty property, other commercial real estate. We can say, actually, let's say we search by owner type. So we can say, hey, I'm only interested in looking at properties that are owned by individuals. I'm not interested in looking at properties that are owned by businesses or maybe banks or lenders, or if the government repossessed the property, or maybe I'm interested in all those, okay? I might be only interested in individuals and properties owned by trusts. So we can apply all these filters, and what's going to happen here is this property list, this super list that we're building on the right, is going to change in real time. And we can do the same thing for year built. We can say built over 20 years ago. We can do a minimum to max. We can also do last sale date. Let's say I only want to look at properties in foreclosure in the last 6 months or the last 3 months, or I want to create my own custom date range here, okay? We can also do loan to value percentages, saying, hey, I'm only interested in properties with high equity, or maybe even with low equity. We remember that high equity is more than 40% equity in the property. Well, what if we want to search for deals with more than, let's say, 70% equity in the property? Well, we can do that. We just build our own custom lead pipe right here, okay? With all this advanced search capability, we can simply save this search if I want to, and I can name this search Test Search 1, or maybe Pre-Foreclosure with a lot of equity. We can actually get as creative as we want. We can save the search and then just simply apply that search again anytime I want to, whether it's in this county or maybe another state that we actually want to invest in. We can also do what's called a geocoded search. So this is a very cool way to look at parts of an area. So in Cleveland, Ohio, there's actually very good investment opportunities or areas, right? And then literally on the other side of the street, we run into not so good areas. So now what we can do is we can actually draw on the screen. Let's say we only want to focus in on this polygon search radius. We don't want to invest on the wrong side of the tracks, if you will. We can actually create a search radius right here within the software. And then what happens is lead pipes will automatically compress that search to only include properties over here on the right. Very cool. So let's go a little deeper and look at the detailed view of a property. So we can do this two ways. We can simply click on any property that we do a search on, and we see our list over here on the right, or we can simply type a property address right in the search bar. And this is really cool if somebody tells us about a property and we want to quickly look it up and get all the details on the property. So I'm going to go inside one of these pre-foreclosure properties. So lead pipes will bring up the property detail view. So now we see all the property information. We see the mailing address, the property address, the owner name. We see the property info. So we see that it's a single family residential property. We see the beds, the baths, the size, the square footage. We see the year built. We see the size of the lot. We see what we call an AVM. So this is an automated valuation model. So this is a pretty accurate estimate of what the property is going to be worth. So it's not going to replace our own analysis of the property. It's not going to replace an appraisal. It's not going to replace an agent telling us that you know this property will sell for this much, but it's going to be a pretty accurate estimate, okay? So then we list the tax value here. We show the tax assessed value. When we go into this property, we can actually click the loans button, and we can see the transaction history. So for example, this person in 2007 took a loan out in this property for $148,500. And then it looks like in 2012 they refinanced $143,000. So they refinanced, they probably paid the debt down a little bit. It looks like when they bought the property in 2002, they paid $120,000. No, it actually, the loan was $120,000. The sales price was $150,500. So we see who they bought the property from. We see all this information. This property is also in pre-foreclosure. So we see the pre-foreclosure information here. We see the recording date of the foreclosure, the notice of the foreclosure sale. We see the trustor. We see the trustee. So we get all that information with the detail view. And then if I want to do a visual analysis of the house, this is super cool. So I can take my Google Maps or Google Earth view, and I can basically look at the property. So I can look at the neighbor's property. I can walk down the street. I can get a feel for the street. I can see the cars in the driveway, the neighborhood. I can go 5 houses down, 10 houses down. I can do a complete 360. So very cool way to visually get a look at a deal, at a property, without getting in my car and having to waste my time driving to the house, right? So for new investors, or if I haven't invested in a certain part of town yet, this is hugely valuable, right? If we're marketing to our sweet spot, an area town that we know and invest in a lot of, maybe I just want to quickly check the property out, right? I want to see what this specific property looks like. But if I know the area well, I'm probably not going to want to figure out if it's a good area to invest in because I've already invested there. But just another very cool feature of the software itself.